Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite and welcome to a Trading Tuesday video. I know I'm uploading this video on a Wednesday, but all of the information is still relevant and there's still a lot to learn from what's in this video. For this one, I decided to go over a lot of the coins that are on Coinbase. And what I did was, instead of going over their USD values, I actually went over their Bitcoin values. So I compared them to Bitcoin because this is really important because you want to know how your asset is doing compared to Bitcoin. You know, in the stock market, usually what people do is they compare the individual stocks that they put their money into and they compare that to the S&P 500, just like an index, a broad index, right? With cryptocurrencies, you should take whatever individual cryptocurrency you're investing into and you should compare that with how is it doing against Bitcoin, or how is it doing against possibly Ethereum, or maybe even how is it doing against index of the top 5, maybe the top 10, but I would say the top 5. And that should be your barometer, or at least I believe it should be people's parameters for whether or not their investing is producing what's known as alpha, which is beating out the market. And so I have in this video a bunch of coins that I'm going over that are against Bitcoin, and mostly all of them are really down bad, to be honest. And it's I don't know, a little ironic because you think, at least I think most people think that you need to go into altcoins. You need to go into altcoins. And like, yes, altcoins are the way to make a lot more money than just going into Bitcoin. That is absolutely true. But you have to get into the right alts. And a good way to know how to trade alts is to look at the Bitcoin pairing, see which ones are outperforming Bitcoin, and then those should have a big, they should be highlighted on your radar. They should be on your watch list. And then you could trade against USDT if you want, for those, but you need to make sure that the coins that you're buying are outperforming Bitcoin. Otherwise, what's the point? Why not just buy Bitcoin and hold it, So I go into that in this video. I also go into a lot of different indicators that tell whether the market cycle top or the bottom is in. And I got to say, just summarizing it right now, there's no way to tell. You can't tell. All of the indicators are neutral and they're all smack dab in the middle, and it could go either way. It could go up or it could go down. But as I explained in the video, I'm more bullish. I am leaning more bullish because December is typically a very bullish month for crypto, and we have a lot of hype and just more people getting into it. So I'm pretty confident in cryptocurrencies. Out of all of them, Ethereum is probably the one that I'm most confident in, and it has been doing really, really well. I'll explain everything in this video and hope you guys enjoy. And I'm going to be posting out a lot more Technical Tuesdays or Trading Tuesday videos every single week. And then I'm also going to be posting up all of the trades that I'm doing, on social media and everything like that. So lots in store, lots of videos I'm going to be making. Let's get into the actual charts, or at least first, let's get into the overall big picture, and then we'll get into the charts. So I'll see you in a second. All right, guys, so we're going to start by going over the big picture stuff, the stuff that I like to look at that helps me determine whether there is a top or a bottom in the market. And right now, I don't believe there is a top or a bottom, but I always like to keep an eye on these things because when there is one, that's when I want to get out or get into positions. And so the first thing that I'm going to start off with is something new that I actually recently discovered. It's called the Bitcoin Bull Run Index. And if we actually click on this, you could see that this is a Bitcoin index that utilizes advanced real-time analysis of 11 metrics to help us understand what stage of the Bitcoin bull run and bear market cycles that we're in. The CBBI is time independent and price independent and simply indicates whether it believes we are approaching the top or the bottom of a Bitcoin cycle. And then it gives you an FAQ for any questions and, of course, the disclaimer. And, of course, with the disclaimer, I should probably say mine. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything in this video and what I talk about is not financial advice. It's simply what I'm doing. But this CBBI index, Bitcoin Bull Run Index, it takes into account all of these different indicators and then puts it into one comprehensive chart and one comprehensive percentage. So if we look at the chart, you could see that the CBBI, once it reaches 100, so pretty much anywhere over 95, that's where I'm going to be getting out. So I actually wrote it down as part of my system, which is that if the CBBI is 95% or higher, that equals exit all markets. If it's 10% or lower, that means buy everything and hold. And if we look at this, you could see that it reached 95 and higher right around in 2013 at the very peak. It reached 95 or higher right around the peak in December of 2017. And it has not gotten back to 95 or higher. In fact, the last peak, it was only at 77, which is not very much at all. I mean, yeah, it's high, but it's not like 80 or 90 or 95 where I would, take things out. Maybe at 90 I would consider, but 77 I would not consider taking anything out at 77. And that was the highest it went before the crash back in May or March. I want to say actually March. So yeah, this is a really, really good thing to take into consideration. Right now it's 58, so of course there's no, there's nothing I could do with it. But if it does get above 95, I'm gonna exit all markets. Or I might exit like 1/2, but I'm definitely gonna exit a huge percentage of my positions. It'll depend on the Bitcoin versus altcoin ratios and everything like that. The next one I have is the Pi cycle indicator. As soon as this hits, I want to exit all markets. So this is the Pi cycle top indicator, and you could see that it hit once right here and the market crashed. It hit once again, the market crashed. It hit once again, the market crashed, and it hit once again back in March, and that's when the market crashed. And so once it hits again, once this actually happens, then I will exit all of my positions in the market. This is only a top indicator. It's not a bottom indicator, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do with this. Obviously, there's no information that we could use, so I'm just going to have to wait, and I believe that we will have the price come back up, rise back above the moving average, the green line, and then eventually have have another one of these Pi cycle top indicators within the next year, and then that's when I will exit my markets. I just don't think that this was the top. Let me take a sip of my coffee. It's good stuff. So yeah, I don't think that this was the top. I think we will see a new top eventually within the next year. 6 months, to be honest, maybe even sooner, probably 3 months. So yeah, there's nothing really you could say about this. This only tells you the tops. So don't need that. Then next up, we have the MVRV Z-score. So as soon as this hits 8, that's when I'm going to exit 1/2 of every position that I have. And then as soon as it hits 8.5, I'm going to exit all of my markets. So this is a really, really big, let me zoom back out. This is a really, really important indicator. It's been used a lot to tell the tops. Once it hits, this is 8 right here. This is where I said this is the dark pink is 8. So as soon as it hits that, I'm exiting half of my positions, and I'm just going to exit half of my position in the market. And if it comes back up to right around 3/4, or excuse me, 8.59, somewhere around here, that's when I'll finish exiting the rest of my markets, of my positions. And then also, I forgot to add that if it reaches the green, then that's an automatic buy. So let me just throw that in there real quick. So I just updated my sheet, and I said that if it hits 0 or the green, that's automatic buy and hold. So I want to buy and hold if it ever reaches here, or when the next time it reaches here, if it does again. And so there's that. But right now there's nothing that I could say, because this is really up here. All of these things that I'm explaining right now are like the extremes. But it's really, you have to continually monitor them to know whether they hit or not. But 99% of the time, they're not going to hit. And that's actually what happens in trading a lot, is that 99% of the time, like, you're not going to be doing anything. You're not going to be in any position. You're not going to be, you're just going to be waiting, really just waiting for the price if you're a swing trader like me. So that's good patience. It's good to have patience. And so that is the MVRVZ score. Next, we have the R hodl ratio. The R hodl ratio, as soon as it hits upper bound 1, I'm going to exit half of my position. As soon as it hits 3/4 of the way between upper bound 1 and upper bound 2, I'm going to exit 1/2 of what I have left in the markets, and that means I will keep 1/4 in the markets. So basically, this is the upper bound 1 right here. And as soon as the R hodl ratio hits this level, I'm exiting half of my positions of everything that I have in the markets. And then as soon as it hits this pink line up here, upper bound 2, not as soon as it hits it, but as soon as it hits about 3/4 away between upper bound 1 and upper bound 2, which is like right around here, that's when I'm going to be exiting the markets, or at least half of the markets. And that puts Bitcoin right around just about $200,000, right around here where I'm going to exit. So I'll probably start around 190. And that is the R hodl ratio. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I suppose if it reaches down here, if it reaches the green, consider buying. So let me add that. And next up, we have the Bitcoin rainbow chart. For this, it's right here. As soon as it hits maximum bubble territory, I'm going to sell half of every position you have. As soon as it touches basically fire sale, buy everything and hodl. Right now, you can see it's in the middle, so nothing really to do. But yeah, this is down here is the fire sale, and up here in the red is the maximum bubble territory. So depending on whether it hits here or here, that's when I will buy or sell. But right now it's in the hodl territory, so I'm just hodling. I'm not really doing much. Although, like in my trading account, I'm pretty much in cash, but otherwise in my investment account, I'm still hodling. Like in all my big accounts and stuff, I'm still hodling because it's in the hodl territory. So nothing much you could say with this, but like I mentioned, it's good to continually be updated on these things. Next up, we have the Fear and Greed Index chart. Right now it's at 40. And for this, I say under 15 is an automatic buy. Over 75, I start scaling out unless we are entering into a full-blown bull market. And yeah, it's at 40, so there's not really much to do with this either. But it is definitely something to take into consideration. Where did I put, maybe it was here. Sometimes I go on their Twitter profile and I also check to see what it was every few hours. So right now it's 40. It was 40 19 hours ago, so it's really staying the same. 33 not too long ago, 33 not too long ago, 33, yeah, 27. So Black Friday it went down, but it didn't go down below 15. It didn't go back down to my actual like buy levels of what I use for this particular indicator. I did buy Bitcoin, but that was not really based off of this. Anyway, next up. Is there anything that's next up after that? No, we have the Fear and Greed Index. Yeah, and that's it for the big overall market cap. Pretty much you don't know if it's you can't tell from any of these things whether it's a top or a bottom right now. So you have to go into the actual charts, and that's why we use the charts as well. So let's hop into the charts, starting off on the total market cap. And then going into the total 2, which is the entire market cap excluding Bitcoin. And then we'll go into Bitcoin, Ethereum. And then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot out all of the charts that are against Bitcoin. So this is going to be a little bit of a different play, or a little bit of a different Trading Tuesday, where instead of going over the USD values in this video, I'm going to be going over the Bitcoin values. And then in a separate video, I'll be going over the USD values. I'll go over a little bit of the USD values in this video, but most of this is going to be Bitcoin, because it's important to know that what you are putting your money into, that the altcoins that you put your money into, that they are outperforming Bitcoin. That's the whole purpose of trading alts. The entire purpose of trading alts is to outperform Bitcoin. If you're not outperforming Bitcoin, you might as well just hold the king, just hold Bitcoin and not trade and not do anything at all, because you'll make more money that way. So if your altcoins are not outperforming Bitcoin, then you need to understand that you need to chart against Bitcoin as well as the USDT. And we'll go into that right after we go into the total market cap and everything else. So moving on to the actual charts, let's take a look. Last update, I believe what happened is we crashed through here, then we crashed down here, and I said as soon as it comes up here, I'm selling. And it came up here and I sold. And then we had this dump, a little bit, another second pump, and then a huge dump on Black Friday. And this was the previous weekly highs. If you could go to the weekly chart, you could see that this was the weekly highs. This was the weekly highs right here, or the weekly close highs, which is great. And this is when, I guess, it's also the weekly highs back here as well. So there was a lot of support back here. And I did push this out, but this is these are very weird candle formations. I will say that. The thing to look at though now is actually the monthly, because it is just about the end of the month. It's the last day of the month. So we have to see what's going on the monthly chart. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? What's going on? So this is the total market cap, every single cryptocurrency put together. And you could see right here, we have what's known as a flying doji, a spinning top, indecision candle, whatever you want to call it. And that means that the market is very indecisive. You could see that the market fell, and then all the bulls, pushed it all the way back up. And the market also rallied a lot, but then all of the bears pushed it all the way back down, and it's literally right in the middle. So there's no knowing whether December will be a good month or bad month, because November was a month that was very indecisive for the markets. Now, saying that, if you look at on the fundamentals, on-chain metrics, you could see that most of the Bitcoin and Ethereum that's being bought up is actually being taken off of exchanges and be putting into cold storage or cold storage wallets. And because of that, that's actually creating somewhat of a supply shock, which means that the price is more likely from a fundamental on-chain perspective to go up in December. Also, if you take a look at the different months of the year and the prices that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies tend to go up, December is historically a very green month for pretty much every single year, except for, of course, 2018, 2019, and maybe 2012 or 2015, one of those months, or one of those years. But historically, every other year, it's been very, very green. So that's pushing me to be more bullish and wanting to be more in the markets in December, because there's not only that, but I also don't believe that that the bull market is over. I believe that 200 to 180 to 220,000 per Bitcoin is in the books before the market cycle top. Yes, we might have down draws. Yes, we might have 30% drawdowns. Look at what we had here. This is a huge 50% drawdown in 2021. but we rallied back up and we actually made new all-time highs. So I'm expecting more of these, except in December, I'm sort of expecting December. I'm expecting December to be a green month. So I want to be more in the markets. Right now, this very second, in my trading account, I do have a lot of USDT. I am not fully exposed at all. I'm hardly exposed to the markets at all right now, but that's why I'm doing this market update, to plot out levels and to put in my positions into the exchanges so that I could buy in case the different cryptocurrencies get to really good prices, or if I see certain cryptocurrencies have really good prices. And so that's the total market cap. Let's look at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. This is actually really important, and it's very telling here. Let me do this. So if you look at the total market cap on the monthly, excluding Bitcoin, this is bullish. We had this. This wasn't totally an indecision candle, but like basically, it's basically up only mode for alts, and you'll see this when we look at the Bitcoin dominance versus altcoin dominance. I was really expecting Bitcoin dominance to continue to move up, but it seems as if the general, not just the general public, but everyone, even VCs and big firms, they're going into coins, specifically Ethereum, AVAX, Solana, some layer ones that are not Bitcoin. And that is pushing the total market cap to be higher and more bullish than total market cap 1. So am I bullish on alts? Some of them, the main ones, mainly Ethereum. And then if Solana and some of the other ones go down and reach particular levels, I will definitely want to buy those up. And that's total 2. And if we go into the weekly, and maybe we could actually put this off, you could see right here, just by looking at it, that it bounced off of the weekly support, or I guess you could say previous weekly resistance turned into support. And I'm sure if we go and we click on that, yes, daily close resistance, and this turned into support. So now we could turn this into green, and we could actually change this to daily close resistance turned into support. All right, boom. So we got that. So things are looking overall, this looks like this was a pullback, and now we're moving up. Let's just see if I could do the Fibonacci. Perhaps on the daily, it will show me a little bit more of a clearer picture. If we go from the bottom to the top, it didn't quite reach the 61.8 unless we do it from there to here. Still, it missed the 61.8 at 1.3. It only got down to 1.325. So usually it comes down here and then pops back up. And that is a little concerning. Let me just do a little bit more of some TA on here, and I'll be right back. Okay, the main thing to know is that down here is the clear support. Up here, previous highs, clear resistance, right? Plus you have this giant diag. So maybe it comes up here, taps the diag, and then comes all the way back down to the support. That's totally possible. You don't know. I'm leaning bullish because we had these is this a bullish divergence? No, I guess this isn't really a bullish divergence, but this is a bullish RSI and a bullish stock RSI as well, plus a bullish looking MACD, and that's turning upwards. So yeah, I'm leaning bullish. This is making me lean a little bit more bullish, especially coming into December, like I explained before, for alts. Plus Ethereum just had a breakout, so we'll see what happens there, and you'll see that in a second. But yeah, this is the total market cap for all of the cryptocurrencies minus or excluding Bitcoin. Looking good. it's basically a no man's land, and this is a you could see that this is a resistance, like resistance. It's at the resistance, but I could see it coming up here. So I'm gonna be looking for entries into my alts, and then if we go back to the total, you could actually, bring this up and do this, do the same thing. And this is what you should always do, really, is you should look at the horizontal levels of like resistance, look at the levels of support, put that here, and then just like see, all right, it's basically in no man's land right now. You don't really know. And it's at the resistance of the previous week or so. So it's a difficult situation to be in. It's basically is like a no trade zone for the total market cap, and basically a no trade zone for the total too. However, I'm leaning bullish. Looking at the Bitcoin market cap, it's currently at just over $1 trillion, $1.08 trillion for Bitcoin. It's in the $1 trillion club. Very cool. Let us do this right here. Bring this up. This is the clear support. So let's put that right there. So, okay. So you could see clear support right here. You could, which was, all the way back from October 7th. And we have the clear resistance because this was huge support turns to resistance. And then we've been hitting the resistance. So we hit the resistance and now we're coming back down, possibly. Will it come back down here? It does have a chance. It definitely has a chance. I don't like to buy. I really don't like to buy when it's closer to the support. When it's closer to the resistance. I only like to buy when it's closer to the support. So looking at the market cap, you could tell that this is closer to the resistance, right? So that's just a rule that I have. Is like, I don't want to buy if it's closer to the resistance. I want to buy only if it's closer to the support. Let's see what Bitcoin actually looks like in a second. First though, Ethereum market cap looking great. Looking really good. Obviously this is it came down to 38.2 and bounced. That's bullish, and now it made this new. Oh, let's go into the monthly actually. Yeah, look at this. Ethereum market cap is just continuing to grow more and more and more and more. I'm super bullish on Ethereum. I'm super bullish on Ethereum. It's already at its weekly highs from before. If I'm gonna buy anything, I'm gonna buy Ethereum. That's basically what I'm saying, because of the total market cap too, being better, I guess you could say, than the total market cap, including Bitcoin, and for Ethereum being better, you could say, than Bitcoin. It's just better looking. Like, it just looks better, technically. Just look this, you could see. So Ethereum is definitely more of the play for me rather than Bitcoin. And then also, as you'll see, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, Ethereum just broke out against Bitcoin, which means that things could get exciting. So now let's go into the altcoin dominance. Let's go into the dominance charts. Look at this. Dominance levels of altcoins are rising. They're continuing to rise. The dominance levels of altcoins are continuing to rise, starting from November 19th. As soon as it hit here and it started sticking above here, this was like, damn, altcoins are actually pumping, or at least money is flowing into alts. Was not expecting this. If we look at the Bitcoin chart, which is Bitcoin dominance, which is the inverse of this, you could see that we were heading up in October. We were really heading up, and I was like really expecting this. I was really expecting this, the Bitcoin dominance to hit up, but we've just been trending down like a mofo for a very long time. And okay, I guess we just broke through this support now. We broke through the previous support right there. And now we created this support, and now boom, we broke through this support, and now we're below here. So unless this is some spring, but I could see Bitcoin moving up a little bit, moving up back to the exponential moving averages, but then it just looks like it's coming back down. And if we look at the altcoin dominance chart again, like very clearly in this zone, in this range, and altcoin dominance is going up. So I want to be more into alts, but not every single alt. Very, very, very specific alts, because you will get wrecked if you're in if you're in alts, the wrong alts, you're gonna get wrecked. And I think Ethereum is just the way to go. It's the freaking biggest, it's the best, it's the safest alt you could do. Some people don't even consider it an altcoin. And we'll also look at some, I guess you could say, we'll look at some layer ones and some other things as well. So let's go into the Bitcoin chart now. Let's look at the actual Bitcoin chart. Start off on the monthly, doing a top-down analysis from the monthly chart. So first off, clear all this off, right? This is the Bitcoin chart on the monthly against USD. And okay, so March, April, and then finally May. We had a huge dump in May. June bottomed out. July, we started the rally. We started to rally back up in July, all the way from around 30,000 to 29,000, I think. Yeah, basically 30K. And we rallied up, and we pretty much doubled in price. We did it 100%. That is a lot of, I've noticed like the 100% marks are really good marks for taking profits. I think a lot of VC firms or just like big firms take their profits at 100%, or at least a big portion of them at 100%, because it seems to be a reoccurring basis. But I don't like Bitcoin here. Like, look at this. Look at the monthly chart, right? Right here was the previous highs, the previous close of the highs of the monthly right here, right? Okay. So we have that. We dropped. We came all the way down to this 30,000 mark. Pretty easy to understand that this was going to be the bottom, right? Because this was the 161% of the measured move down from back here. So we knew that was going to happen, or at least I figured it was. And then we pumped all the way back up. This candle was amazing because it engulfed, it went above the previous high, right? It went above and closed above the previous high. However, November is about to close below the previous high. I don't like that. I just don't like that. I really wanted November to close above $58,792. Like, it really needed to close above this high, because otherwise this is just basically liquidity for everyone to exit the markets. But this is crypto, so you never know. And the monthly charts are too big of a time period to get a super accurate prediction. So I think going to the weekly is better. It's better on the weekly. And obviously on the weekly, like you could see that the price fell down, and it's still below the previous highs on the weekly as well, which is not really that good for Bitcoin. And it hit the 50% and then came up, but I'm telling you this right now, boom, I'm looking at it, everything that I was seeing beforehand. Also looking down here, looking at the MACD on the weekly, looking at the RSI on the weekly, the stock RSI on the weekly. I had 55,100 as my buy zones for a long time. So obviously bought 55,100. I'm considering selling and then putting in a buy order, right? Putting in a buy order at 5,200 right here. Right? 52,000. So I think this is the key. This is now the key level, 52,600. 52,575. Yeah, that's basically the new key level. So Bitcoin can definitely fall another 10% from here to hit the 61.8 and then bounce. And if we look on the weekly, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the top. This is the top of here. And if this is somewhat of a 5-wave structure like this, right? It comes down here, taps it before moving back up. Very possible. So I'm not super bullish on Bitcoin. These were the highs. These were the highs. It fell below the highs. And then it fell below the highs and it failed to go above it. If it went above 58,700, if it like closed above here, I'd be much more inclined to be going into Bitcoin. However, going down to the daily chart, I don't like it. I just don't like it. So I'm going to tell everyone in my Discord right now that I'd probably sell the stuff that I bought at 55,100 for a solid 4% gain, which is actually really good. Okay, so that was Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now what I want to do is actually go into all of the Bitcoin pairs. So if we go to the Coinbase, it's called the Coinbase BTC pairs. You can see that there's nothing here, but I'm going to add in all of the Coinbase BTC pairs. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I added in the Coinbase Bitcoin market right here. There's all of the coins that are on Coinbase that are against Bitcoin. I'm not sure if you could see that, but if you should be able to see it. So I'll just put this in so you can see this. And the way that I did that was I used this site, which I will show you right now. It is called sandwich.finance, and it has the TradingView watch lists, all of them in one place. So you could get all of them for Binance, FTX, KuCoin, Huobi, Bitfinex, Coinbase, Kraken, and Poloniex. And you could get them divided between the Bitcoin markets, the USDT markets, or all markets. And of course, there's ETH and perpetuals and other things. But really, it's just the USDT, Bitcoin, and all, or USDT and Bitcoin that you really want. Or you want the perpetual futures ones. But yeah, that is sandwich.finance. You just download the CSV file, go into here, and then go into TradingView, and then click add, create new list, and you could add a new list to TradingView using that software, or that site, which is really good. So props to sandwich.finance. And now that we have that, let's just go over all of them against Bitcoin. And then tomorrow I'll go over a lot of these against the USDT. And so we're going to start off on the weekly. And this is what I want to show you with this. It's like a lot of these coins, again, it would have been better off. You would have been better off just holding Bitcoin since May, since forever, for 1 inch. So 1 inch, it's like, I don't necessarily really want to, like, the thing is, I don't want to trade coins unless they're going to outperform Bitcoin. Makes sense, right? So like the time that I would want to trade 1 inch, for example, is right here. This is where I would want to have traded 1 inch. But then, of course, it fell, and now it hit the resistance again. This was clear support. Don't know what any of this stuff is, but then resistance, support, and now resistance. So it needs to break above this, and I would want to, and then I'll trade 1 inch. Or what you should always do is basically look for the lows. But this low, yeah, or if it comes down here, I'll put a alert in to say, I'll say look at 1 inch. look at, I'll say 1 inch hitting all-time low against BTC. So once it comes down here, at least I'll get an alert that will pop up and come up on the Discord. So you got that. And then I'm going to create a Telegram group as well, just for alerts. So only for alerts. And I will do that tomorrow. Actually, I will work on that. So that's 1 inch against Bitcoin. Let's look at Aave against Bitcoin. If you were to put your money into Aave compared to putting it into Bitcoin, which one has performed better? Look at the chart. It's Bitcoin. Bitcoin has performed better. This was the clear support area. It has to clear this area. So I'll say clear this line and then go long on the retest. That's Aave. Okay. So I don't want to be going in until it does that, right? Maybe what I'll do is I'll put all-time low here, and I'll put another alert in, and I'll aim to grab some right here. I'll go for a trade right here, but that's the best I could do. So I put the alert in for Aave. Let's go into ADA, Cardano. Look at Cardano against Bitcoin. The worst. This is the absolute worst. Can you imagine being in Cardano since September? Literally, since September, Cardano has lost nearly 60% of its value since September. So, absolutely horrible to be in alts like Cardano or any of these. There's only a few. There are a few that look really good, but it's not Cardano, I'll tell you that much. I would not want to be in Cardano. Maybe when Cardano comes down here, that's when I will give it a shot. So let me just chart this out. Okay, so yeah, Cardano, like I was saying, looks like crap, absolutely crap. This was the last thing. So if this flips this area, then I'll look to buy it. Otherwise, I'll buy it down here. Maybe what I'll do, I'll bring this up here. And I'll buy it. I'll buy it here. This is where I'll buy it. We have another 20% to go. Actually, that's not that much, to be honest. That's not. I wonder if what the chart looks like against Bitcoin on a higher time frame. Yeah, actually on the higher time frame, it looks even worse. So yeah, I'm done. I'm done with Cardano. Remove this. I'm just gonna restart this entire chart because this is not the only thing that you could do is I guess look at the weekly. All right, and then if it comes back down to this I think is the area. This would be the area. This is the strongest area of support against Bitcoin. So if it comes down here, I'll buy a moon bag. So I'll buy a moon bag here. That's it. And that is more than 20% from here. That is another 34%, which would be 80%, 90% from the top, 80%, 70%. How is that 70%? Okay, 70%. Oh, and actually looking at it now from the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, you can see that this is at the 78.6. So this is actually a pretty good area to buy a moon bag. So I'll buy a moon bag. I'll buy a moon bag for it here and just hold. All right, so now we're getting into Algo. And if you take a look at Algo is the only coin that is, well, not the only, but Algo is a coin that is actually outperforming Bitcoin. So Algo is one to take a look at. So if you take a look at Algo, you can also do Algo. I'm going to do Algo USDT. That's not messed up. I'll go USDT. There you go. Boom. So Algo has been doing exceptionally well. And it has bounced off of this major support area. Let me do a little bit of analysis on this real quick. And so, yeah, for the USD chart, looking really good. Bounce off support. Hopefully it could continue moving up. That would be pretty nice. And to be honest, this is a pretty decent trade setup. You could go from the weekly down into the daily and just say, okay, I want to get in here with a stop right here, bring it down to the 4 hour to make sure that this is actually 4 hour. You could even do it right here, put the stop here. Yeah, so that gives you a little bit of a drop, maybe a 8% drop. Get in there. Yeah, if you're lucky. I could see it. I mean, it's at the resistance right now. Yeah, this is a trade that I would do. I would put this trade on for sure. This is a pretty solid trade. So let me do that and post this up. And so the point that I'm looking at here, like what I'm seeing is that the USDT chart against Algo is, it's been consolidating like this for a really long time in this range, right? And at the same time, the Algo versus Bitcoin chart is looking really good. It's been consistently moving up over the long term, and it's been consolidating in this range as well over the last since October. So for 2 months. And so this is a coin that I would want to trade. I wouldn't want to trade Cardano. I wouldn't want to trade 1inch. I would not want to trade Aave. But Algo, it looks good on the Bitcoin chart, which makes me more confident in the USDT chart. So let's keep on going. Let's go to, let's keep on going down the line. Anchor against Bitcoin. Go to the weekly chart. Okay, you can't really see anything on this chart. So to be honest, maybe Anchor's, oh shit, Anchor did really well against Bitcoin. So that's really good too. Okay, so I have the Coinbase BTC markets on here, but to be honest, there's not as much data on the Coinbase BTC markets compared to other markets. So let's scratch this, and instead of using Coinbase, let's use other markets that have more data. So what I did was I went into sandwich.finance, I went to BTC markets, I downloaded it, and then you just go up here, click the 3 little dots, and you click import list, and then you could import the thing that you download. And boom, just like that, I have the Binance BTC markets, and there are 300 pairs. So there's actually 303 pairs of coins on Binance against BTC, while there's only 68 pairs on Coinbase. So what you want to do is you want to have pairs that are relevant, that aren't shit coins. There's a lot of shit coins on Binance and on KuCoin. But you also want to have a long enough time horizon. You want to have a long enough time horizon on the coins so that you could get the best data possible. So this for Aave, for example, is better on Binance than it is on Coinbase because there's more data. And the more data, the better decision you can make technically of where to get in and where to get out. So we're going to basically just plot the charts out on Binance. All right, so continuing on, we have, Cardano, like I mentioned. That's where I'm going to buy a lot, is right over here. So I put the alert in over there. Next up, we have, we already did Cardano, and then we did Algo. So let me put this here. Man, the last time I did Algo on the Binance chart was, was 2020. Over a year ago is when I did this. It's on Coinbase Pro, Binance, and Kraken. It's also a Binance IEO. I'm comfortable holding a position in Algo for a very long time. That worked out pretty well. 2020, yeah, November 2020. That was right around here, so not too bad. But let's just, all right, let me do some analysis on this. Be right back. Okay, so looking at Algo against Bitcoin, this is the clear support. This is the clear resistance. This is the biggest resistance. So what I'm planning on doing is, if it comes down here, I will buy it, and then I will sell 50% up here, and then I will sell the rest, or 90% of the remaining amount, back into my Bitcoin up here. It's in a very interesting place right now because it is above the support area. So you could go from the weekly into the daily, and technically you can say, okay, look, it's above the support. Like, it's above the support. So if it comes back down here, you can have a trade set up on Algorand, but like, it's very messy. It's a little bit messy because look, it's like, it came to the support here, boom. Okay, you got in, but it didn't last, and then it fell down here. So then you would have gotten out here, but then it came back above, boom, you would have gotten in on the retest. And if you just held on to it, then eventually it fell back below the support, and you would have got stopped out. And then it went back up, came back in on the retest, but then fell back down, and you would have got stopped out. And then it would have came back up, but this was in one day, so you wouldn't have caught this because you wait for the retest. So you would have gotten in the retest here, and then you're on the way up. So putting something on like this it's risky, but it's an opportunity. Yeah. So what you could do, actually, though, which would not be that bad of a trade setup for Algo, is put a trade setup like this, right? And then go to the 4 hour and say, this is the clear support for the 4 hour. And how big of a difference is 5%? That's not that bad. 5%. So let's say that this finally is the floor, and then you get 5%, and then you could come all the way up here. I would take partial profits here. I would take partial profits right here. Right? And then I would keep the rest for up here, and then sell the rest up here. I might do this. I might actually do this trade. So yeah, let me put this on. And that was Algo. So now let's go on to Anchor, the next coin in the Bitcoin Coinbase playlist over here. And wow, look at that. From the bottom to the top, it ended up reaching the 161.8 and then falling down. That's incredible. The Fibonacci is just so cool. It blows my mind how cool the Fibonacci is. So this is clearly a huge resistance for Anchor protocol. So what you do is, you say big resistance, sell here. And then we make it red to make it stand out. This should be bold, so we know for sure. This was major resistance. The last time I did this was freaking October 9th, 2020, which was back here. And did I do that? It's actually really good. So anyway, that's no longer the ideal buy zone. That's like below the ideal buy zone. So major resistance. So I guess major resistance. Now it's major support. So that's easy. Just flip that, turn that green. Wow, it just missed it. Just missed it. We have this right here. So interesting. I guess we actually got to bring it up. Got to bring it up. So if it comes back down here, I'm buying. Like if it comes all the way back down and does a 100% retrace from the bottom to the top, that would have been pretty amazing. I wonder if that's the 61.8 from the bottom to the top. No, it's not. It's actually below the 61.8. This is very interesting. Almost like a fake out. Yeah, this does not make any sense to me, actually. It makes sense this way. Maybe on the daily it'll make more sense. It makes sense if you do it from the daily. Wow, actually it makes perfect sense. Look at that. Normally though, you would do it from you don't take it the bottom. You take this area. This would be the 61.8. It came down here, bam, and then fell below it, and then it fell to the bottom 61.8 right here, and then obviously soared up from there. That would have been a really good trade. Definitely should have kept my eye on that. But now, where are we now? Well, we hit the top, hit the resistance, we're on the way back down. In the middle, we're in between support and resistance, aka no man's land. We have this huge area right here. Support, turn into resistance, fake out, resistance again, resistance, broke through it hard, and we're coming back down. So this is actually support for Anchor. This is a clear support. SR flip, so we write that. SR flip right there. Do you want to buy some here? Might not be the best. Might not be the worst. Might not be a bad idea. So technically, and also let's see if there's yeah, wow, this is actually, yeah, this is a pretty solid, I would say this is a solid setup right here. I'm definitely taking this. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on, so be right back. All right, now let's go to Anchor USDT, right? To see if it makes sense on there as well. And when did I put this? That's the question. Okay, not bad. This is a good, like basically buy a major dip and hold situation. But yeah, if it comes back down, first off, Fibonacci 78, hit the 78. Start off on the weekly. Let me check out. Let me look at this USD pair for a second, or USDT pair against Anchor real quick. Okay, so on the weekly, you could see that this is pretty close to resistance, big resistance up here. I guess, I don't know if you could consider this to be a 5-wave structure. Not particularly. No, not really. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even consider this to be, I would say this is maybe the third wave up, which means I could come down here and then come back up here, pop up here, and then get sold up here. Basically the only thing to do is possibly this medium support. So this is a support level right here. So if it comes down here, then I would say that this is like a decent enough support to jump in. But if it does, then I would probably want to get out. I wouldn't want to hold it all the way up here. After Anchor, we have Atom. So let's go there and look at how Atom has been performing. Yeah, June 2021, right around April, May, June, right here. Yeah, that worked out really well. Huh, great. Anyway, adding medium amount of Atom here, maybe a lot. I don't know. Atom has really sucked lately. It's been pissing me off so much. It has making higher highs on the monthly chart and higher lows on the monthly chart as well. Let's just check if there's any type of, not really any big Fibonacci levels on the monthly. Let's check the weekly. Go down to the weekly, and I'll just do analysis on here, and I will be right back. Okay, so I went into the Atom USDT pair, and ever since the June-July bottom this year, it went on an absolute tear. Like, I didn't even realize that Atom did a 4x. So that's really good for Atom. And then it's dropped back down and it's on its way back down. But on the weekly chart, you could see that, it popped down to pretty much the 38.2, popped back up, and then it dropped to the 50%, and it's stagnating a little bit. So it's probably going to drop down to the 61.8. So if we go to the daily, maybe we could see a better thing. And lots of resistance turned into support. Resistance right here, busted through it for a second, and then or resistance for just a second, and then busted through it. And so this is a really good place. This is in my opinion, it's a really good buy zone. So I would have an order in for over here for Atom. And then if it happens to come all the way back down to say $10, $11, I would grab some at $11 for sure. Anyway, that's Atom against Bitcoin, and we might get a possible bounce off of this diag right here. Seems like it's likely to happen. I don't know how well lived it will be, but if it does come back down to this major support, I'm definitely going to be adding a lot more Atom here. I am in a position right now. I'm definitely scared, just because I really would rather not lose, but this position, because I got in at such a good level. So I'm just, hoping it goes up, hoping it goes up. Otherwise, I think it's invalidated. Then I got to possibly cut it for a loss and then lose. But regardless, that's trading. You win some, you lose some. That's what happens. So let's keep on going. Let's go down. Keep on going down the list. Next up, we got AVAX. And if you take a look at AVAX, let's take a look at AVAX, will we? Look at how good AVAX is doing. AVAX has been outperforming Bitcoin so well. If you would have taken all your money, thrown it into AVAX, all of your Bitcoin, put it into AVAX, you would have been outperformed. You would have outperformed Bitcoin by nearly 100%. If you would have done it at the lows back in December of 2020, you would have multiplied your Bitcoin. Holy crap, 2,100%. That's a lot. That is a lot. So AVAX is looking strong against Bitcoin. So AVAX is one that I would want to look at. Absolutely. So let me actually let me put that in there as well. So this is the, you know, AVAX versus Bitcoin chart. Pretty clear levels. Yeah. Clear level right here. Clear level right here. This is on weekly. We don't even need the weekly. We could go to the daily because the daily is much. We could fit the daily into one chart. This is clear support right here. The biggest support that I see is right here. We've hit it so many times, and it turned into resistance right there, and the support. So if it ever comes back down here, I am absolutely buying. Let me put that in here real quick. So I put buying if it comes back down here, but as well, if we take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, if it comes down to the 61.8, I would want to buy here as well, because this is the golden ratio support, and it has some support right here as well. So I would definitely want to have this as a trade if it happens, if it came to it, where I would buy AVAX right here and sort of just wait for it to pop up at least, you know, a solid 19%. I think that's a decent trade setup. Of course, you could have the invalidation below the 65 right here, which is the support. You know, that's perfectly fine. But usually I like to wait. It usually plays out. And so we have, you know, AVAX against Bitcoin. So let's see if AVAX against USD or USDT is any different. It actually looks very, very similar. Yeah, it just, AVAX has been up only mode. It has this nice diag on the USDT pair. Let's check out the Fibonacci 61.8. Boom. This would be the area that I would want to long at if it came down here. For AVAX, I would do the same thing. I would long it. I would just buy it, and I would just hold it. I would just hold it up until it reaches like 109, and then I would sell it. Buy it at 88, sell it at 109, and then continue on with my day. After AVAX, well, just to preface this, before I move on from AVAX, I just want to share again, AVAX against Bitcoin. AVAX has been outperforming Bitcoin consistently. This means that more people will be looking at AVAX because people look at Bitcoin first. And I'm talking about like institutions, funds, a lot of VCs, any big players. They look at Bitcoin, and then, or maybe they look at Ethereum, and they want to see what's outperforming. AVAX has been outperforming, so people will look at that. So that's why I like to play these ones. There's reasonings behind it. It's not just the charts. It's the charts tell a picture, and then you have to extract the data, you know, and then put it into use. So fingers crossed, AVAX comes back down here, and I'll grab it. Otherwise, yeah, just gonna have to have another coin go off and get into another coin, because I'm not gonna buy it all the way up here, you know. I'm not going to buy it at the all-time highs. Like, that's dumb. All right, so that's AVAX. The next one on our list is AXS, AXS, which, of course, has just dominated. If you've gotten into AXS anytime, literally anytime, you would have been done amazing. You would have done amazing. So shout out to anyone who is doing AXS. AXS, of course, is part of the metaverse. It's part of the gaming sector that is just blowing up like absolutely crazy right now. So the other thing, and this is another thing that I want to say, it's like you could use the L1s, or you could use the narratives or the coins that are doing well against Bitcoin. You know, like how we just saw AVAX was doing well against Bitcoin. So that is a hint into what you should be looking at. There's also AXS, which is gaming, and obviously the entire category of like gaming coins are doing really, really well. So that's like another thing to focus on. So you want to focus where the narrative lies in crypto, and then you want to get out before it dies down and then everything like crashes. That's basically the main point here. So let's look at Axis Infinity and see if we could figure anything out. We're looking at the weekly chart, and the last really, really good entry was right here. This was the weekly close. It popped up, popped back down, and obviously perfect retest. Then the next one that you would have wanted to have done is honestly this right here. Never came down. This was the second one. So yep, clear pop up above, clear retest right there. What's the next one? You know, let's do some analysis, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just did a little bit of analysis on this, and here's something that I want to point out. Look at this. It actually I didn't do it on the first run up. Maybe it works on the first run up as well. No, the first run up was way too bullish for it to do anything, and hit the 38. Yeah, it hit the 38 and then popped up. So if something is crazy bullish, the very first run up is only going to hit the 38.2. But then you see that it had this run up again, came back down 61.8, popped off to 61.8 and held. Then I did not do this one, but maybe if I do this one, this is also, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this is the bottom to the top. Yeah, this would pretty much be the top right here, and came back down 61.8, popped up. Look at this, bottom to top, 61.8, pop back up. So I think you know where I'm getting with this. 61.8. Sorry that I was just like real slow right there, but yeah, 61.8 golden ratio. That's where you want to get in after these big pop-ups. Now looks bullish. It's crazy. It still looks bullish. AXI AXS, it looks bullish. So this is a great trade setup, because if this is what's happening here, it could be an ascending triangle and then pop up. I got to do it. So I'm going to put this trade on. Very good RR. 12 RR. It's insane. In fact, but thinking about it now, actually, I wouldn't want to take my profits there. I would take I would take my profits here, and then I would rebuy on the, that's what I would do. Yeah. Take profits here, rebuy on the SR flip. I've seen this before. Hopefully this plays out. Yeah. So this is the first one, and then the second one would look something like this. Yeah, this would be the second one. So yeah, that's Axis. Let me post this in the chat. Okay, so that was Axis against Bitcoin. Now let's look at Axis against USDT. Of course, it looks very, very similar, just up only. Absolutely ridiculous. And let's see if it did the same thing with the retest. It did not retest the close, but it did retest the highs right there. And then this is the highs right here. It did not retest the highs on the USDT pair like how it did on the Bitcoin pair. So bullish, it's more bullish on the USDT pair. And some would argue this is a head and shoulders pattern, but usually it pops down, pops back up, pops down, pops back up, and then just falls. This is not falling. This is rising. So this makes me bullish. Like, it's stupid. You shouldn't be bullish on something that literally looks like that. Like on the monthly chart, you don't know. You have no idea. I mean, this is last month was an indecision candle, so this one could literally go either way. It could come all the way down to 117 and it could still be bullish. Like, you just don't know, right? Monthly does look overextended, but I mean, does it look overextended? It's the biggest game in the world, so there's probably better. I mean, there's definitely better longer term plays, but as for trade setups, if you want to just take just take an actual trade, I don't see why. Like, as long as you have your stop in place, it doesn't matter, you know? And it's already above the neckline again, you know, for the second time after 5 green days in a row. That just seems pretty bullish to me. Plus ascending MACD, raising RSI, rising RSI. Yeah, I wouldn't be upset about taking a trade with Axes. What would I want to do in this case for USD? Probably just get in somewhere around here and then take profits. You know, at the highs, it's an extra 17%. I'd probably take it a little bit below. I'd probably take it at like 15, 14% because, I mean, damn, even the weekly is fine. The monthly is the only thing that's scary, but like, it's a indecision, so you just don't know for sure. Anyway, you can't really put something on the weekly, on the USDT chart. On the weekly, this was pretty much an indecision candle, and we still have 5 more days, but it seems to be going up, so that's good. Yeah, there's not much I could say about the daily, the USDT chart. I only see a play on the Bitcoin chart. So we're just going to move on after Axes, and we're going to go to the first B that is on the list, Balancer. And we're going to check this out. Wow, that sucks. This is just not a good coin to be in. So I'm going to erase all of this. This literally everything that I drew. This is the monthly chart for Balancer. Is this a coin that you would want to be in, or would you rather just be in Bitcoin? If you've held it any time past August 2020, you're at a loss against Bitcoin when it comes to Balancer. So just think about that. And you should think about this with every single coin that you hold. Is it outperforming or is it underperforming Bitcoin? That's the only thing that you need to really think about. So looking at this chart, it's just like, this is something that I don't want to trade, right? Because I would want to trade it right here. I would want to get in at the bottom, but it hit the bottom and crashed through it and then has the resistance, and it's just like a slow bleed. This is not a chart that I really want to trade. So that's the Balancer BTC chart. Let's look at it against Tether. And you could see, yeah, it's not, I mean, it looks okay. It looks okay for Tether, but just the fact that there's this with Bitcoin, against Bitcoin, like, why would I even trade it against Tether? I should trade it against Bitcoin. I suppose if it jumps up above here, this is what I'll say. I'll say, just like I did for the other ones, if it jumps above here, look to get in on the RS flip. That's it. Or RS? No, the SR. Not like there is really that big of a deal of which one you say, but yeah. So publish idea, val, okay. Check. And I'm going to put this as an alert. Copy. And then I'm going to paste it right here. Val. Boom. Okay, so that's Balancer. The next one on the list is Band. I don't think Band is any better. It's not. All right, look at Band on the monthly. Literally would have been better off. I mean, honestly, if you would have held Band in 2020, you would have done extremely well. Extremely well. But ever since 2020, it's just like, yeah, December 2020, I think I got in here. And yeah, then I sold. It says I sold. I'm waiting for it to reach it again. So this does not look good. This, of course, is the all-time high. So, or not all-time high. All-time high is up here, but it's so bad. Like, I don't want to be in something that looks like this, you know? Okay, so pretty much the only thing that I would do with Band is if it comes down here, I would do some fundamental research, make sure that's still even a project that people are working on. And then I would possibly buy a bag and then sell it against Bitcoin for 100, 200% gain, possible. And then pretty much be done with it until things start moving up again for it. And that's pretty much all I would do with Band. Band against USDT. I mean, it definitely looks better against USDT than it does against Bitcoin, that's for sure. But I still wouldn't really want to buy it. I mean, maybe I could buy right here to flip some USDT, but probably not, to be honest. Yeah, and then if I am going to buy it right here, I would sell it here. I don't know if it would even come up here. I'd probably sell it here, to be honest. So, yeah, this is where I would sell it. After Band, the next one is BAT. Ooh, I do think that BAT actually did outperform or did do pretty well against Bitcoin. Okay. Not the worst. Yeah. Looks like I should have bought over there, to be honest. Oh, well, whatever. Retesting this. Just retesting this. This is where I wanted to buy. Never came down. This is just such a clear support resistance area that if it comes back down here, I'd probably want to buy some. I'd probably want to pick some up. Yeah. And if we go into the daily and we take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, you can see that it has a 61.8 golden ratio and a lot of, support right here. Previous resistance turned to support, plus a lot of support and resistance right here. So this is actually a pretty decent buy. This is a decent support area. I would put on this trade. This is the trade that I would put on. Just like try to grab 20%. I could see it happening. Going to BAT USDT. We got it's doing really well, actually. Let me delete all of this. This is from a long time ago. Yes. All right. Okay, go to the monthly chart. Wow, BAT on the monthly doing crazy good. Crazy good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, what if we just do this, Previous top resistance anywhere between here and here. That's good. Let me do some analysis and be right back. Okay, this took me literally like 2 seconds. All I did was I took the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, saw the 61.8 lined up really, really well with the previous highs. So let's say that this is a 5-wave structure and you just want to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it could stop here. It could be a retest or it could be a overextension. Either way, it makes for a perfect 5-wave. So I would buy it. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I would do. Is I would want to buy it here right above the 61.8, just to be safe. Sell it here because this also has this resistance back here, so just in case. But yeah, this is a pretty clean setup for me. I like it. It's been obviously the monthly has been insane, been really, really good. Look, it probably needs to pull back realistically. Pulls back. I don't even know if it'll come down here because this is the monthly close. Maybe it'll get a wick down here. Who knows if it's still bullish. Either way, BAT's looking good, so I like BAT. This is definitely a trade I will be putting on. Hopefully it comes back down here within the next... Oh, man, this is the weekly chart. Shit, I need to go into the daily. I don't... you know, maybe in a week. Maybe it could reach there in a week or two. 20... It would have to be a bad week. It would have to lose 24%. But we've seen other things in crypto. We've seen worse. So looking at the weekly, I'm gonna put this trade on. I don't know how high of a probability this trade is, but it will. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, oh well. Next opportunity, you know. Next up, we have Bancor Network. Bancor actually has outperformed Bitcoin since January 1st of the year. It's up over 100% more than Bitcoin is. So props to Bancor. And this is the clear support level. So if it comes back down here against Bitcoin, I'll look to buy it. Otherwise, we have this fairly obvious resistance, diagonal resistance level. It's possible it might want to come back up, tap it again. But I sort of want it to brush up against here, or at the very least flip this area right here before if it flips here, let me write this down. Okay, so basically if it flips this right here, look to long the breakout of the diagonal resistance. Is pretty much what I'm saying. That's what I would hope would happen, unless it just breaks back down, and then this would be the next support area down here. So yeah, I'll put a alert in for this and see what this looks like. As for Bancor versus US dollar, really could not have gotten a better retest. Look at this. All-time high back in 2020. Falls, breaks all the way. Incredible run-up of 1,431%. And then falls all the way back down to retest the previous highs. This is equivalent to Bitcoin going from 3,000 all the way up to wherever, 1,000%, 30,000 to 60,000, around 50,000, 60,000, and then coming all the way back down for the 2020 highs, or I guess 20,000, 2018 highs. This has happened in a much shorter period of time. So now it's like, okay, what is going to happen here? Well, we have this clear support. I would get in here for sure. And we have a pretty obvious resistance as well. Clear support, clear resistance. Looks as if it is forming an ascending triangle similar to Axis Infinity. So we'll see if this holds. I'm not as comfortable holding Bancor or trading Bancor as I am Axis, because Axis has the whole gaming thing going on, and that's the narrative. So if it comes back down here, I will buy it, and I'll actually put this up here, and I'll buy it. I'll buy it here, and just buy and hold. If Bancor comes back down here, it is a pretty decent cryptocurrency. Good, from what I remember, good fundamentals. So yeah, I think I'll just wait until this reaches the bottom, and then I'll buy it if it reaches the bottom. Next up on our list is CGold, or CGLD. No idea what it is, except I do know that it is a coin Coinbase Ventures backed coin. So that is one criteria that I have. So I say if it reaches here, buy some as a moon bag and sell at $9. That's pretty much what I would do for just over a 3x. No, I would sell at 10. Sorry, I would sell at $10 because I would just sell, before it reaches this high, pretty much. And yeah, that's how I would play this. So sell here. That's it. Okay, guys. So if we were to continue going through all of the coins that are on Coinbase and that are also pegged against Bitcoin, we would be here for quite a while longer because we're only just now getting to the C's, which would be comp or compound. And we have, compound, curve, CTSI, Dash, Doge, Dot, Engine, EOS, ETC, ETH, FIL, Fourth, GRT. We have a lot of coins to continue to go through. So I'm going to stop trading or stop charting the coins right now because I don't want this to be a million hours long. However, I will say that the ETH Bitcoin chart is looking absolutely phenomenal. The ETH USD chart, like I mentioned, looking absolutely phenomenal. ETH is the way to go. I'm going into ETH. And yeah, that's it. I'm not like all in, I still have a lot of, I still have some powder, but, I'm definitely getting some ETH because, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was going to come down here. It did not come down here. I was really expecting it to, but it's just really taken off. So you gotta jump in, at least have partial exposure to Ethereum. And that's the main one. That's really the main one that I'm going into. All of my other investments are remaining just that. They're remaining in my investment portfolio. I'm not touching them. And I'm pretty sure that that's it. Let me think if I could think of anything else. Okay, I thought about it and I can't really think of too much else. The only other things I could think of is that I'm going to be pushing out a lot more videos. I'm going to be doing some fundamental videos. I want to have Fundamental Friday where I go over the different cryptocurrencies. I want to have Trading Tuesdays, which is what this is. And I want to have possibly something on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and then Mondays and maybe Sundays. So we're going to figure all that out. And other than that, man, keep on stacking those sats. Just overall big picture, I don't think that we're in a bear market. I mean, technically we are not in a bear market, just technically speaking, but I have a lot in my investment portfolio. I have a lot of USDT in my trading portfolio, and it's like neutral. It's like really iffy right now. So we will get more clarity in the coming days, coming weeks, whatever. But as for now, I showed you a lot of my buy zones, and also I showed you how I do these, how I chart them. So you could chart them on your own if you want, the coins that you want to chart on your own, and we will figure that out. So I will continue this tomorrow, and I'll continue going through the different coins that are available on Coinbase. And then once I have all of those down, I'll start going into different coins. I'll go into the gaming sector, and I'll go into other things that maybe even aren't coins, but possibly NFTs, possibly like in-game items, and just other things that are other opportunities in crypto. Possibly. We'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you haven't, hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and I have all of this stuff in my VIP, all of the charts that I just charted, they're all in my VIP. So if you want to get the alerts, join the VIP. You know what to do. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out. Bye.